Hello people, I'm the Comic Book Gamer, and a few things I want to say before I get into this review. So yeah, I've been meaning to do this review for a long time, but like I said previously in another video, my PC got all messed up, but it's all fixed now, so now I'm able to record again. Also, I did get to see Tony Daniel, and that's why this is now signed. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I also got two new posters, as you can see in the back, which I think are pretty cool. Storm Shadow Snake Eyes poster and a Deathstroke poster, which I got signed by Tony Daniel as well, so that's awesome. Also, a big thanks to Rob from Comics Explained. He gave me a shout out on his channel, so that's awesome. Thank you. And yeah, now let's get into the review. So today I will be reviewing Batman R.I.P. I've been meaning to do this review for a long time, but now I'm finally able to review it. Now, this book is written by Grant Morrison, who I like to call the King of Confusion, because he just has a certain way of writing. There are two things that really contribute to him being the King of Confusion. One of the things that he really likes to do is he likes to draw upon past things that he's written. So if you're just picking up now, it's not good to do on a Grant Morrison written book. Do not start off on a Grant Morrison book unless it's the first issue that he is writing of that book, because otherwise you will be very confused. He really likes to reference stuff that's happened like 20 issues ago. That's just what he does. And also he has a certain style of writing, like the pacing and the way things are set up. That can be very confusing, but also it can be very rewarding because the fact that if you've been reading the series the entire time and then he mentions something that happened like 25 issues ago, it's like, hey, I've been following the series this whole time. That's cool. I like seeing that mentioned. It sort of pays off with the fact that I've been following it this whole time. It's connected. So it's sort of a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing if you've been reading the series the whole time he's been writing it. Bad if you're new. Just don't pick up on a Grant Morrison book unless it's like a one-and-done thing like All-Star Superman, or it's his first ever time writing for that book. Now, the art is done by Tony Daniel, who, as you guys know, is one of my favorite artists currently. He is great. He's amazing, and he especially excels at drawing Batman and his characters. He does a great job. He just knows how to do the Batman and his rogues gallery. He does a great job. Now, the book, oh, well, spoilers, if you have not read the book, I will be going in depth with this, spoiling the entire book. So yeah, you've been warned. Anyways, the book opens up with an homage to The Killing Joke. It's Joker dealing a hand to Batman. And it's awesome because that's how The Killing Joke opened, except this time it's the real Joker and not a fake Joker like it was in The Killing Joke. And he deals him like, I think it was like Death's Hand or something like that. Anyways, Batman is trying to find things out about this new mysterious group called the Black Glove, except they're not so new because they've been there. They're a bit like the Corvallis in the fact that they're a group that's been in Gotham, but they're just getting noticed now. Like, that's where the similarities end, because Corvallis is way different than them, but that's the only, like, really similarity is the fact that they're both secret societies that have been in Gotham for a while, but they're just getting noticed now because there's a story arc about them now. Anyways, their leader is this guy called Dr. Hurt, and Dr. Hurt in this book is claiming to be Thomas Wayne, and a big part of this book is the fact that there's this new controversial thing that's coming out about Thomas Wayne. Did Thomas Wayne have his wife killed and try to have his son killed? Did that happen? Ooh, that's like a big scandal that's going on during this book, and it's a big thing that happens is the fact that Thomas Wayne may still be alive. This guy may be Thomas Wayne, but Batman, of course, the whole time is fighting off like, no, he's not Thomas Wayne. Now, one of the things that that Grant Morrison does in this book that is brilliant is he takes like the 75 years of Batman that we have, and he rams it all into one character. And how he does that is all those like trippy Silver Age adventures that Batman has, he throws into an well, not really an illusion, but a sort of like Batman was in like a cave for 49 days, and for like 10 of those days he completely lost his mind, and well, yeah, he did hallucinate, and he just went crazy. And Grant Morrison was able to throw that in there, as in all those adventures he had happened during that, and that's just awesome. That's really cool that he was able to do that, that he was able to fit all the stuff that we know about Batman into one Batman, because, you know, that's not exactly easy to do, but Grant Morrison does it, and I think that's really cool. Now, again, that's a little bit confusing for some people, because this is my second time reading the book. I read Batman R.I.P. a while ago when I was not an experienced reader, and I had not read stuff prior, and it was just really confusing. Like, the first time you see Joker, Joker's got a bullet, and, well, a bullet wound in his head, and it's really confusing if you don't know what happened. Basically, what happened in a nutshell was a guy dressed up like Batman and shot Joker in the head. Well, that's what happened. And so, yeah, if you haven't read it, it may be like, why does Joker have a bullet in his head? Also, Tony Daniel draws one of the creepiest looking Jokers ever. I mean, this guy is creepy. There's even this one hallucination scene that's just one of the creepiest Joker moments ever. And it's saying something because, it's Joker. He's had a lot of creepy moments. But this is just, like, it shows, like, Dick Grayson, I think Tim Drake, and, like, Commissioner Gordon all just dead there. And then it comes out, and it turns out a guy's doing an ink blot test with Joker, and he's like, "What do you see?" He's like, "Another pretty flower." It's like, "Dude, that's not a pretty flower." It's really creepy. And Tony Daniel, he draws a creepy Joker with like the split tongue and the razors and the slick back hair. It's creepy. Now, in the story arc, Batman also has a new love interest, Jezebel Jet, who he's revealing everything to. He's telling her, "Hey, I'm Batman," and he shows her the cave, and all that stuff happens. When he does show her the cave, he gets captured by the Black Hand. They invade and they capture him, and then he gets like thrown on the street. He meets this hobo named Honor Jackson. They sort of go on their little adventure together, and then Batman becomes the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh, which is a Silver Age Batman that's just, I'm not really going to get into, but it's another brilliant thing that Grant Morrison does to fit all the Batman from all these years, 75 years of Batman, into one Batman. He just threw Zur-En-Arrh in there, and it fits and it works great. Zur-En-Arrh Batman is the Batman in the back of his mind, the Batman that he uses when he, like, someone takes over when he goes crazy. It's his subconscious Batman. I thought that was awesome. Now, the Grant Morrison Batman, if you've never read Grant Morrison Batman, is the most undefeatable Batman ever. He is, when someone's like, give Batman prep and he could beat Galactus, they're talking about the Grant Morrison Batman. Grant Morrison Batman, there's no beating this guy. He is just, he's unstoppable. He's insanely OP and just like, he's Batman. It's the whole, I'm Batman. How could he beat him? Because he's Batman? Well, it's because of Grant Morrison's Batman. Like, he is really overpowered, but Grant Morrison still does a good job with making an interesting story. While Batman is on his whole adventure as Zur-En-Arrh Batman, things are going on with the rest of the Bat family. Like, the Black Hand is hunting them down. They even hunt down Nightwing and capture him, which I didn't like how it was handled, because it shows, like, Nightwing takes out some thugs, and then this lady appears, and then Nightwing's just captured. We didn't even get to see a fight or anything. It's like, how did this lady take down Nightwing, one of the best fighters in the DC universe? She just takes him out, and it all happens off panel. We don't get to see. I didn't like how that was done. I thought that was stupid, and it could have been handled much better. Now, Tim Drake's able to get away from these guys, and one of the things that I thought was really cool was Grant Morrison was also able to fit in Batman Incorporated. Like, when Dick Grayson run away from these guys, they finally catch up with him, but then Batman Incorporated comes in. If you don't know who Batman Incorporated are, they are the group of, like, these vigilantes that Batman is collected over all the globe, and Tim Drake calls them in because obviously they need their help. Also, while he is the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh, he carries a baseball bat. He's very brutal, and he has Batmite on his shoulder as a hallucination. Batmite is the fifth dimension character. He's what's his name, Mr. Mxyzptlk. He's just a copy of Mr. Mxyzptlk for Batman, and he's there, which was another interesting thing, how Grant Morrison was able to fit so much Batman lore into one comic, into one Batman. It was just, I don't know how he did it, but he did, and it works. But then when Batman comes to the end of his Zur-En-Arrh reign, like his little crusade, he goes to Arkham Asylum, which is where the Black Gov are waiting for him. And then he has a confrontation with the Joker. It's really cool, too. Like, Joker gives the line, "This is where your soul dies." So, that's pretty cool, Joker to say that. And they have a little fight, and then he sees Jezebel Jet is about to die, so he goes to save her. Oh, it turns out Jezebel is bad. This wasn't really a plot twist. Like, even when the first time I read it, I saw this coming from like a mile away. It wasn't like that big of a thing. Like, oh my gosh, Jezebel's evil. It wasn't as big as like in the end of Batman Hush when Catwoman says hush to Batman. That was huge. It was like, I thought she was on his side. What's going on? Is she good or is she bad? To where in Batman R.I.P. it's like, yeah, you can tell Jezebel's bad. There are definitely hints towards it, and it's not that big of a mystery. Now, they're able to drug Batman thanks to the Joker, and they bury him under like 6 feet of like loose dirt, not very heavy, because they want him to come back. These people are weird. They could have killed Batman like 7 times already if they wanted to, but they're like, no, let's wait. And Joker, well, like everyone places bets, like, is Batman gonna live? Is he gonna die? Who's gonna win? Joker like bets all his, well, he kills a guy first to get a ring in the betting, and he says, I bet Batman's gonna win and he's gonna beat all you guys. And they're like, no, he's not gonna do that. Also, I forgot to mention this before. These guys did break Joker out of Arkham Asylum because they're using Joker to help them. But as you know, if you've read any Joker comic, you can't use Joker. You can't. It just does not go like that. Joker is not a henchman. He does not get used by other people. He's too smart for that. And it's never works out for the people who are using him. But anyways, like, Batman breaks out of the grave, big surprise, and he goes, Joker ends up driving an ambulance off a bridge. Oh, is he dead? Is he not? This happens a million times with Joker, and then Batman goes and hunts down Dr. Hurt. It's really cool, and Dr. Hurt's telling him how he is Thomas Wayne, how he's his father, and how he hated Bruce, and all this stuff, and Bruce, again, this whole time, like, trying to shrug it up, like, no, he's not, no, he's not, and then the helicopter crashes, and we're assuming Batman's dead, but then Batman, what was it? Final Crisis happens way later on, and we see Batman dies again, but he gets sent back in time. Obviously, Batman is not dead, as we know from future comics. This also, since this is the newer edition, you see the new DC logo on there. It does include the issue from Final Crisis that was all about Batman, which is pretty cool, but I'm not really going to talk about that. I'm just talking about Batman R.I.P. Now, I liked this book overall. It's not like the greatest thing ever in my opinion. I really did like it though. Like, the way Grant Morrison was able to fit all this lore, 75 years worth of lore of Batman into one character into one book was great. But the story itself, it's kind of like it's Grant Morrison's Batman, so nothing's bad is going to happen. Granted, when you go into a comic book, you don't go, oh, well, I bet the hero's going to die this time. No one does that. Everyone, unless it has death of in front of it, no one's like, I bet the hero's going to die, or something really terrible is going to happen to him. But what I mean by that is, if you read, like, Scott Snyder's New 52 run, there is a bit of a sense of danger with Batman, to where in this, there's not too much of that. But there is some with the fact of Joker. Joker seems to be the only person that can get past the impenetrable. He is Batman's kryptonite, is the best way to say it. Especially Grant Morrison's Batman, because Grant Morrison's Batman, like I said, is practically God. But Joker is the one person who can get past his armor. He's the chink in his armor. He's the one person who can do it. And Grant Morrison writes a good Joker. Tony Daniel draws an even better one. The art in this book is fantastic. It's amazing. Joker especially. Joker is so creepy and so well done. I love Joker in this book. Now, all that being said, I would have to give this book an 8 out of 10. It's not my most favorite book ever. It's not a bad book by any means. It is a really good book. I really did enjoy it. Again, do not pick this up if you are a new reader. You will be lost. Pick up from Batman, where Grant Morrison started reading, and then read up to Batman R.I.P. if you want to read this. Do not pick this up if you are new. If you have not read anything from Grant Morrison before, you will be completely lost. Trust me on that. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Also, my next comic review, I think, might be Death of Wolverine. Who knows? I might do something else, but I'm planning on Death of Wolverine. So yeah, thank you guys for watching.